This is Magic Mike with mag-fedsamurai paintball team, and today I'm looking at the BT SA-17. Now this is it's an out-of-print pistol. It's not been made in a few years, and I was lucky the other day to find a brand new one, still in box, over at SC Village, the local park. Now this individual pistol has kind of a storied past, not great necessarily the greatest past in the fact that it was recalled at one point in time because some people were trying to open this when it had CO2 in it and either shot someone with the CO2 or had the risk of doing so, so they were recalled and they had a new safety system put in. Safety system was put in and it made the marker almost unusable for pistol play, except for the most people with the strongest fingers in the world or just really good at Rubik's Cubes, because the sliding detents inside made it really hard to get the CO2s out. Now, this particular marker, I'm not going to discuss that so much. Instead, I want to look at some of the features that I think make it unique from the other mag-fed markers, such as the TPX and the T9. Now, I'm saying mag-fed with reservations because normally, over here on the side, this rail, there's a 10-round tube that fits on there. It's a kind of a special bracket that fits on this Picatinny rail and feeds into this breech. Not very mag-fed. Dead Cell does make an adapter he has for it, which could make it use TPX mags, which make it mag-fed if clunky. But what's interesting to me is the fact that it has a first strike ready breech. This is something that Empire put into this and their reboot of the Tracer. Neither gun particularly took off and are both sometimes hard to find, sometimes easy to find depending upon your time frame for trying to find it for projects. And that's largely why I got this, is for a project. I want to make a rifle out of it. Something light to use that can use CO2 and just to pick it up and play a little bit, not have to carry a lot of gear on me. I decided I needed this after Decay of Nations this year, where my first day of heat stroke, my second day I wanted to use something lighter. Luckily, friend DJ Matt let me borrow his CCM SR1, and while I am on the waiting list for the CCM SSR, it's probably going to be a few months before it actually gets to me. So in the meantime, we're going to have this guy work to help me out. Now, this is in no way going to perform as well. It's not regulated. It's also a blowback. There's a lot of things against it as far as a long range first strike marker. But as a fun pick up and shoot marker, it'll be a good thing. Now, as far as the pistols go, this has something quite interesting compared to both the T9, T8 series and the TPX, in the fact that it's extremely easy to, one, operate, but that's the same as them as well, but to maintenance or to field strip. Field stripping this marker is a dream. All you have to do, put your finger on the back. Anyone who's ever used a pump or an autococker knows what this is for. You push it through, pull it out, and next thing you know, all your internals come out. You now have a straight shot to clean out the inside. You can ungunk this, whatever you need to do. Put a little, if you're servicing, put a little bit of oil in your 4 O-rings here, and then you put it right back in. Now, you don't want to put too much pressure on it putting it back in. Your first inclination is probably to push hard, but you don't have to. There's a secondary button here, and this is to let the bolt and everything slide forward, the hammer. If you don't mess with it, then you're going to have a hard time getting everything in there. You put too much pressure on it. So you push everything in, put your pin back in, and you're good to go. This is also something interesting is that unlike the TPX and the T9.1, the 8.1s, which are blow forward, it's blow back. And it's not only blow back, it has an action. This is how you charge it. Now, when you shoot, there's not a CO2 in here right now, but when you pull the trigger, this rocks back every time. And it actually has a really kind of neat feel to it when you fire it. Something you don't usually get with this kind of marker. Especially, for example, like the Teen 8, Teen 9, which are heavier than the TPX and have a much less of a kick to them. Not that there is a lot of kick with the T9 or a TPX unless your PRV is malfunctioning, in which case it'd be like my first TPX, which was a TPX, not TIPX. And when the PRV went, I was shooting dents into the holes of the helicopters at SC Village and realized that something was desperately wrong with my marker. Now, this marker also has something very interesting, is that it has sizers. It doesn't actually have a standalone barrel. Instead, it has an auto-cocker threaded tip, so you could turn it, use this to turn to your rifle pretty easily right here. And this tip holds in a sizer which acts as your barrel. Now, I only have the one sizer, it's a 688, but that's usually the size I use anyway, 688, 687. Now, as far as putting a longer barrel on for using it as a rifle, I don't know if I'm going to put the rifle barrel on the end of this and just let it jump through the non-threaded area to the threaded area, or if I'm just going to use a non-rifle barrel. I haven't decided. Some people have just foregone this barrel altogether and bolted in a A5 barrel, which are usually smaller, and had it attached to the stock as a way of mounting it in. I've played with this for a few games just for fun to see how it played. I played with the feed on it, and I actually think it's quite a decent shooter, and it's quite fun to play with actually. My only lament is that to make it truly mag-fed is going to require putting something clunky on here, and I really do like how things look. If you look at any of my other builds, you'll see that I'm always balancing out how something functions with the gun porn aspect of it. But I will say, if you can find one of these, especially if you can find one for cheap or new, you might want to go ahead and pick it up, because they're an interesting little pistol. And at $100, it's not bad. This is all plastic, this is all metal. It's quite a heavy gun actually. Not unpleasantly so. It feels good. There's some contouring on the sides as well. You probably can't see it on the grips. It feels good in the hand. My old team kind of liked it. And it's actually probably about the size of a full-size Desert Eagle, maybe a little bit longer. Like I said, though, the grip is lower, is made of plastic. You can just unscrew 2 screws and it can come off. And as far as modifying for a rifle, I'm going to do just that. I don't want to tear this up. I still want to use it as a functional pistol if I ever choose to, or to trade it to someone else. If I can help it, I usually try to keep things more or less ably put back intact again, just because I'm a pack rat when it comes to this stuff. I usually don't like destroying most things. I've got some 98s that have been cut up pretty bad in the past, but I kind of feel like they're always a dime a dozen. You always find another one. This, you won't find many of anymore because they're not made. They were never particularly popular in the first place, and they probably deserved a little bit more credit than when they got. This is Magic Mike, sign out. Thank you.